Yes, that is the Gallahorn on my back. And they can rip my fucking Gallahorn out of my cold, dead hands. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is your good friend, the King, aka the Scott, welcoming you to yet another Destiny video. This is the Xur Report for September 11th, 2015, which, depending on your perspective, and my own personal decision that I will come to by the end of this report, week 53, or year 2,
that tower's empty,
week 1. As you can see here, it's a quiet morning here in the tower. Not a lot of people around. But here's Eris in her new home. With her nice little cracked urn where she's probably got ogre eyeballs full in it. And there's our good friend Xur, and, well, nobody's there to see what he's got. I wonder why.
Yeah, he's good.
Probably because this is a lame duck kind of week for Xur.
I have no reason to call.
We're waiting for the new items next week. And this week, you know, it's just, well, you're hoping maybe he brings the ram. Maybe he brings that last exotic you need to complete your collection. And for one of my friends, maybe he brings the Hawk Moon. But that's probably a little bit too much wishful thinking for this week. But I'm going to end that suspense right here
The cells in this body,
and see what he has.
Guardian.
Well, you can see his selection has been cut down a bit. He's still got the 3 armor pieces, a weapon, and an engram. But you can see, well, there's a couple things missing here. Telemetries. And that's mainly because telemetries have been streamlined into just 3. There's a heavy telemetry, there is a special telemetry, and there is a primary telemetry. No longer do you need a specific weapon telemetry, and that's what he sold. So they've taken them out of his loot pool and put them over on the gunsmith, really where they belong. So you will no longer be able to use strange coins to purchase them. You will have to get them from the gunsmith, which is fine. Meanwhile, we also see that while he still has heavy ammo synth, the number that you get for a strange coin has been cut down to 3. And I'm going to buy some because I've got a shitload of coins. I'm guessing part of the reason why they did this was, well, 1, 5 was a really good deal for 1 coin. And 2, because of the fact that you can now trade in... I'm going to buy some more, what the hell. You can now trade in heavy ammo synth to your favorite faction and gain rep with them. So this is probably a way to curb that a little bit, or at least make it a little more expensive for you to do so. I wouldn't say I'm happy about it, but I can understand. Up here we see that the exotic shard is gone, which is interesting. I guess it's going to be a little harder to get them. You'll have to break down an exotic. You will no longer be able to purchase them from Xur for 7 strange coins. So I guess they just want you to make a decision of, well, you're going to get rid of this. I guess when you get a 2.0 version, you can break down the 1.0. But in the end, well, it's a little disappointing. But again, it might also be that you don't need the exotic shard on the new items. So we'll soon find out. Let's take a look at what he does have this week. First up is the Helm of Inmost Light for the Titan. The strength roll is pretty good here, 34. You get Death from Above and Headstrong for Fist of Havoc, 2 different skill tree perks to allow you to pick 2 different skill tree perks. This is mostly a PvP helmet for the Striker class. Not quite as useful or fun as the Helm of Saint 14 for Defenders, but still a pretty fun helmet to use when you're playing Striker. It allows you to fly in the air and aim your Fist of Havoc down on unsuspecting enemies. So it's fun to use at times. It is shader compatible now, as most exotics are in 2.0. So you can make it look all black, or, you know, any color your shader is. So, you know, if you don't have it, pick it up. It is going over to 2.0. There will be a better version of it. So you can buy this to get the blueprint for the 2.0. Over here, we've got the Celestial Nighthawk helmet for the Hunter, and the intellect level of 25 is pretty low compared to what we just saw. What you get here is your golden gun is turned into a one-shot gun, but that shot does 6 times the damage. So you go from, getting 3 single shots to 6 times the damage of a single shot, in one shot. So that's pretty good. You go from, 3 damage to 6, and you only have to hit 1 shot. So that's pretty cool. It's not a good PvP helmet. You're going to want the Symbiote, even though that's not being carried over. For that, the Nighthawk is going to 2.0. It is the only House of Wolves exotic that is getting a 2.0 right away. So, again, if you haven't been fortunate enough to land this yet, or buy it the last couple of times Xur's had it, pick it up now, even though the roll is not exactly great. Over here, we've got the Apotheosis Veil for the Warlock, and unlike the other 2 helmets here, this one is not being carried over to 2.0. So, I would only recommend purchasing this if you don't have it, and you're trying to complete your collection. Because of the simple fact that right now, it's not getting advanced, so it's going to be left behind. Now, at some point, it could go forward, and so it's nice to have all the exotics. But, other than that, there's really not a good reason to pick it up. I mean, it's good for Crota, but again, how much are you going to be running Crota? It's got the health orb thing. Activating super regenerates your health. That's a good thing, but again, you're not going to use this helmet all that often because of the fact that it's not a 2.0 upgrade. Apotheosis Veil is just not going. Obsidian Mind and Light Beyond Nemesis are. So those are the Warlock helmets you're going to want to focus on. This one, pass. Meanwhile, over here we've got No Land Beyond. Now, I've actually seen a few people asking for this to make a comeback. It's been a while since he sold it. So, some people are very happy right now. This is a pure PvP gun. It's a sniper rifle that you can equip in your primary slot. It's pretty much useless in PvE because of its slow rate of fire, its double reload animation where you not only have the magazine here, but you have the bolt action. So, you've got 2 sets of reload animation. It makes it very, even though the reload here says it's pretty fast, it's just not. You're not going to get your shots off very quickly. The impact is lower than it should be. Good range. They kick the range up here. Stability is all right, but again, it's the amount of time between shots doesn't really matter with stability. They've improved the Master perk, and Mulligan's been improved as well. But again, these are not great perks. This isn't a great weapon, but if you're a good sniper, this can be a very dangerous weapon in the Crucible. It's not being carried over to 2.0, however, so you're not going to see it in Trials when that comes back, or Iron Banner. Well, you might, because it's a sniper, and it might still be a one-shot kill, who knows. But for the most part, you won't see it. So, again, if you don't have it, though, pick it up, and might get a 2.0 someday. But for now, it's being left behind. And we have the exotic engram as a chess piece this week, so if you've been wanting Purifier robes or any other exotic chess piece that you don't have, well, this is a chance to pick it up. I don't think it's the last chance, although apparently he's going to have a legacy engram starting next week, which will be how you can still acquire 1.0 weapons. We'll know more about that next week. So for all intents and purposes, this really is the last week of Xur as we know him. Next week he will be significantly changed. So I almost want to call this week 53 because of that, but no, we're in year 2. This is year 2, week 1, but Xur gets his update and his changes next week, once the Taken King has been released. We got the Plasma Drive and the Emerald Coil as always, and like I said, only 3 have the ammo synth for 1 strange coin now. They've cut 2 out of that. So, that's a bit of a reduction. That's disappointing, but understandable. And of course, we still got the exchange for, Motes of Light. Anyway, that's what Xur has this week.
My will is not my own.
His will is not his own.
You have faced the darkness.
Well, my will is my own. And what I promised my friends, my viewers, and everyone else was that by the end of this video, I would come to a decision. And I owe it
I need to hear
to the Vanguard here too. I owe it to these guys. They deserve to know. Everyone deserves to know. Well, I've made my decision.
I'll offer
And
guidance.
despite my anger and frustration with this game and some of the changes that have been made, and more specifically, the lack of changes that have been made, and the deception
questions?
from Bungie about other changes and other items that we're going to find out next week more about. Despite all of those, I cannot deny that I have spent more time playing this game than any other game I've ever owned. So for me, this should have been a no-brainer. I should have plopped down the $40 the day it was announced and just did it.
Starting to mess the little guy.
But that's not quite what happened. And it looks like my friend Gold has joined up.
Prepare the food. The waiting ruins
No,
will
I
see.
could not say no. And as we're finishing recording here of the other Zur report I'm doing, yes, the truth is out. I am back for year 2. Zur is back for year 2, and there will be an extended run of the Zur report for the foreseeable future. I am the King, aka the Scott. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you next week. Eat a dick.